a team that was once the dominant force in England and one of the biggest in the world, but which today does not scare anyone. Let's explain what happened for Manchester United to go from being the best team in the country to just another side in the Premier League. Shall we? Manchester United's collapse is closely tied to the departure of a winner, and winners are fundamental to the success of any project. Football is no different. After Sir Alex Ferguson retired in 2013, Manchester United became a different team, once a European giant, now an inconsistent side marked by financial crises, controversies, poor results, and debts of more than $1 billion, as well as very poor sporting management. Mismanagement by the Glazers, expensive and ineffective signings, and the lack of a clear identity led the club into a long title drought in the Premier League. Giving my quick opinion, when I look at Manchester United's recent decline, I can't see a single culprit or one isolated moment. I see a slow process, with successive mistakes, disastrous financial decisions, a confused sporting direction, poorly planned changes of manager, and an inability to adapt to modern football. The club that was once synonymous with organization and excellence became a case study in how bad management can corrode even the biggest institutions. For me, the roots of this decline become clear in 2005 with the arrival of the Glazer family. The purchase of the club was done through a leveraged buyout, in other words, using debts that were paid down with United's own revenues. Instead of injecting capital to strengthen the sporting structure, the new owners made the club pay the interest and installments on loans that essentially benefited the Glazers themselves. This drained resources that could have been invested in infrastructure, the squad, and the modernization of the football department. Little by little and steadily, Manchester United started to be run more as a financial asset than as a sporting project. If you disagree, drop a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. This model created a gulf between the greatness on the pitch and the logic of the management off it. The fans noticed the reversal of priorities, dividends to the owners, debts being rolled over, while the team failed to keep up with the evolution of their rivals. The discontent exploded into protests, boycotts, and organized campaigns. But despite all the noise, the power structure remained untouched. From that point on, the feeling that the club was being slowly drained from within grew stronger. Even with this turbulent backdrop, the immediate impact was softened, because United still had Sir Alex Ferguson. He acted as a sporting shield for all the administrative errors. Ferguson's retirement in 2013 laid bare everything that had been poorly concealed. Without the presence of the most successful manager in the club's history, the board was completely exposed, and what we saw from then on was a series of choices that revealed the absence of a proper plan. In the post-Ferguson era, instead of a robust transition plan, what I see is improvisation. David Moyes was announced as Ferguson's own chosen one, but he arrived without the right structure, without full autonomy, and with a squad in physical and technical decline. There was no preparation, no consolidated processes. Moyes' early sacking was the first sign of panic. Instead of calmly correcting the course, the club began to react, never to lead its own destiny. Then came Louis van Gaal, with strong ideas, but tied to a rigid style of football, and without full backing in squad building. Next, José Mourinho, who did win a few trophies, but left a trail of conflicts and an even more unbalanced group. The problem was not only who sat on the bench, but who was making the decisions above them. The club even started to think about its assets, and presented a project for a new Old Trafford, but it still has not begun to be implemented. Back on the pitch, the results have been awful. A lack of major trophies and even difficulties in achieving something as simple as qualifying for the UEFA Champions League. The current management of Manchester United has the face of failure, the face of trying and not succeeding. Players are signed on extremely high wages, with no plan for how they will be used, no fit within a clear playing model, while the genuinely weak positions remain poorly addressed. The club that was once a reference in scouting and development has become a symbol of amateurism in the transfer market. At the same time, the debt kept growing. In this new season, it seems that things are changing a bit. The club has been fighting at the top end of the Premier League, and when things start to work on the pitch, everything becomes a bit easier in terms of day-to-day work. We'll have to wait and see how United will behave. The downside is that their great rival has been the country's leading team in recent seasons, which creates even more pressure on the club in this restructuring project. while City have built an integrated project with a state-of-the-art training complex, intelligent recruitment, and a well-defined style of play. And Liverpool have restructured themselves with a competent sporting directorate and advanced data analysis. United have seemed to go round in circles. Now is the time to get back on the path to winning trophies. Do you believe it? Tell me in the comments. What I see today is a Manchester United that tries to sustain its greatness much more on memory than on reality, but which is capable of evolving. It has resources, it has a huge fan base, it has investment, and when you have a clear path, everything becomes easier. It is true that the finances, shaken by debts and poor decisions, limit the club's ability to react. But they do not make growth impossible. Let's wait for the next few seasons and hope for the rebuilding of a giant. If you enjoyed this, leave a like. If you're not subscribed yet, subscribe now, and before you go, I'm leaving another video in the card. Click and watch it. All the best.